video, I want to show you how I made these collage papers for collagraphy. This is video part 1. In video part 2, I'm going to show you how I made collagraph using these collage papers. So I've got these A4 label sheets and they are sticky, and I'm going to use them to create various collages to create an abstract collagraph, and it will be basically all about patterns. If you look at the actual paper, it's sort of semi-smooth. It's not completely glossy. I would say it's matte. It's more matte than glossy. So it would probably create a mid-tone in printmaking. So I'm going to create a couple of them with a gloss finish. So I'm going to use gloss acrylic medium and just spread it all over, just to make a couple of them glossy, so I have a different starting point. Okay, so my very glossy papers are ready now. So I'm going to use a all-purpose filler, for basically a DIY filler that you use to fill gaps in walls, and it will give me a nice matte finish. So I'm going to just use that to create a pattern on my glossy background. So you could use this, or you could use light molding paste by Golden, for example, but I've just run out. I haven't got much left, so I'm going to use the Polyfilla instead. And just going to spread it on top. As you can see, that's worked really nicely. Actually, I quite like it, so I might just do a little bit more of it. Next, I'm going to use carborundum plate making gel by Akua, because it will have a rough surface, and I'm going to use this paper Doliy to create a pattern on my glossy paper. Yeah, that worked out quite well actually. Pleased with that. Got a nice good pattern going. Against the gloss media, it should actually show quite nicely. I'm going to experiment further and see if this lace would work. I think it would be a lot trickier. But I'm just going to see. You never know. I'd be amazed if this works. But let's just see. Before I waste any more. Not as good. It could be quite interesting though. I'll leave it the way it is. What I would like to do is just on a fresh piece, I would like to just embed it onto the paper, and I'm gonna use gloss media to do that. So I'm just trying to secure the fabric with gloss medium so that it's not absorbent when I put ink on it. I just want to see the pattern really, and I don't want the ink to get absorbed. It might end up being a little bit too thick, but we'll just have to wait and see. I've got some homemade funky stencils that I'm gonna try with this carborundum making gel again, because I quite like that. Should get some good effects with it. This carborundum plate making gel is supposed to be used with screen printing screen for the most effective way. So you make a stencil out of a newsprint, I guess, and put it on the other side, and then just run it through like a normal screen printing paint. I have to try that. Sounds quite exciting. That's quite cool. I'm into this. I'm going to do something similar with this stencil as well. Ooh, don't want to mess up my lovely patterns. I think this one is almost dry. Let's do it here. Cool, like it. This is quite a nice, interesting pattern. I thought I'll do it with the Polyfilla. Nice. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's giving me that really nice, intricate pattern. Okay, so this one I'm going to just spread it around. No actual patterns here, but just texture. So I've decided, just before the paste dried, I just decided to add some marks with my mark making tools. Okay, next I'm going to use a heavy body matte medium, which is amazing because it's very stiff. So I'm going to use this to create more patterns. So I'm just gonna spread it out. So essentially I'm turning this collage paper, sticky collage paper, into like a mold. I can embed things into it. So just like previously, I've got some more mark making tools, and just creating some marks on the heavy body medium before it dries, just to create some more textures for my collage papers. Right, so this will be sort of less, it won't be as dark as the other ones. This could actually potentially be a little bit too heavy, but we'll just find out, I guess. I'm just going for some more extra heavy body gel, matte, and doing some more patterns on this time, not on a glossy background but on a matte background. So there won't be much contrast, but there will be some lines suggesting the patterns. So that's got me a lovely clear pattern here. Hopefully you can use it under, you can see it under the changing light. What I'm going to do is now the other side, I'm going to wash it against this because that will actually create a pattern on its own. So if I clean it on top of the paper, that should create a very delicate pattern as well. Yeah, you can see it's created a very delicate pattern. That's quite interesting as well. Because I have some left on my spatula, I'm just going to use it for some mark making. You don't really need much. I have to be careful I don't layer it on too thick, which I might have done on some of the previous ones. I'm just using a dry point needle to do some marks on this pre-prepared surface. You can see maybe a little bit under the light. I'm going here now using a little bit of filler, which will have a probably matter finish. It will have a darker finish when using ink, just to see how that will behave when scratched with a point needle. It probably look quite similar, but I just wanted to experiment and just do use a different media. I've done quite a lot of pattern making. I'm just going to do some mica flakes on gloss medium, just to do something a bit different, I guess. Okay, that should give me some really lovely pattern as well. All right, just gonna use the rest of this glossy paper while I've still got it, and I'm going to just do some brush strokes this time with Micasious Iron oxide, which is a bit like the carborundum. It's got grit in it. It's a paint with grit in it, so it will work well on a very on a glossy, shiny media. So I'm just applying the paint to. I don't know how I will cut it, but basically it's just to create texture. I made this stencil a while ago and I think it would be quite good to use it. However, I'm a bit nervous because it's got these quite big areas, so it could go a bit wrong. Try it with Polyfilla because it seems to be quite sturdy. Let's see. I'd like to do the whole sheet, but I think I will struggle with that. Anyway, I'll have a go. I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create these collage papers that they almost sort of contrast and clash with each other. So one of them has smooth pattern and ordered pattern, one has sharp and random, just to create a lot of variety in my final piece. Okay, so let's see. That's not too bad. And actually, because I had a bit of paint, pink paint on top of the stencil, that's quite nice because you can see it better. But that's actually not bad. There's a bit here that moved a little bit, so it's smudged. but I don't necessarily have to use that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean it like I did last time on top of the collage paper, because that could create a really good effect. I quite liked what happened with it last time. Let's just hope it doesn't move too much. Okay, this is as much as I could have done. Interesting, we'll see how it works. I can see the pattern. All right, let's do a few more. So this one, I'm gonna go for matte medium again. Excellent, really like that. I'm going to clean it again on top of it because I do really like that effect. Okay, next I'm going to experiment with some micro beads, and they are quite tricky in printmaking, and sometimes they looked good on my plate, sometimes not, but I'm going to experiment with this filler because it's quite stiff, and I'm going to embed the micro beads in it, and hopefully that will work. I think in the past I have made this micro beads and they were sticking out too much, but I thought if I use something like the filler, that could work. This one is really, really chunky, so it could create a fabulous contrast with other stuff I'm trying to make. So let's use let's use the carborundum gel. I had a few leaks, but it's not too bad. I'm going to go for the same approach where I'm going to clean it on top, because I think that would get me more out of the stencil. Yeah, I like what's going on here, that's quite cool. So I've got a huge range of my collage papers. They are all dry today, so I'm happy to cut them up and stick them on. But that's for another video. This is the artwork, this is my proof print, and as you can see, you can probably spot some of the collage papers I've created. It's a bit of a mad print, and I have actually worked further on it and changed it a little bit, and printed it sort of in two different gradiating colours. But yes, I will publish the video on how I made the collagraph using all these collage papers. So if you want to stay with me and wait till the next video, prepare your collage papers and we can do it together. I will let you know when the next video is ready, and also when it is, I will create a link here to the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video about collage papers for calligraphy. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you're going to use those collage papers to make a collagraph plate. Thank you for watching.